Hello students, today we will start chapter number 3, Fiber to Fabric. What kind of clothes do you prefer to wear in winters? What kind of clothes will you carry if you go to a beach for a holiday? We prefer to wear clothes depending upon the weather and climate. For example, we wear woolen clothes in winter and cotton clothes in summer season. We wear light clothes and gun boots in rainy season. Now let's know about the types of fibers. There are a variety of fabrics that we see around us. Fabrics can be broadly classified into two categories based on their sources: natural and synthetic. First of all, we will study about natural fibers. Fibers obtained from natural sources such as plants and animals are known as natural fibers. Cotton, jute, silk, and wool are some examples of natural fibers. Natural fibers are of two types: plant fibers and animal fibers. The fibers obtained from plant sources are known as plant fibers. Cotton, hemp, and jute are some examples of plant fibers. The fibers obtained from animal sources are known as animal fibers. Wool and silk are some example of animal fibers. Synthetic fibers. Fibers that can be manufactured in industries using raw materials that are mostly chemicals are known as synthetic fibers. Examples are polyester and nylon are some synthetic fibers. Our next topic is wool. We wear woolen clothes in the winter season as they keep us warm. Wool fibers have air spaces between them. These air spaces trap the body heat and do not let it escape, hence keeping us warm. Wool can be obtained from different animals such as sheep, goats, yaks, and rabbits. Depending upon the animals, we get different varieties of wool. Animals from which wool can be obtained are bred to obtain wool on a large scale. This is called rearing. Wool is present as hair called fleece on the bodies of these animals. The fleece of sheep has two types of fibers: the coarse beard hair, the soft under hair found closer to the skin. Sheep are herbivorous and eat mainly grass and leaves. They are sometimes feed a mixture of pulses, corn, jawar, etc. In India, sheep are reared in the hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Lohi, Nali, Bakarwal, Marwadi, and Pathanwadi are some breeds of sheep found in India. Wool from other animals. There are also some animals other than sheep which provide us wool. These are goats, rabbits, camels, etc. Camel hair is obtained from the very soft and fine fur of the undercoat of the camel. The undercoat hair of alpaca and llama found in South America is very soft and lustrous, and the fibers are lightweight. The Angora rabbit from Ankara provides us with Angora wool. Our next topic is wool production. The processing of wool involves different steps: rearing, shearing, scouring, grading and sorting, dyeing, drying and making of yarn. Let us discuss them one by one. Shearing. The process of removal of the fleece from an animal is called shearing. Sheep are usually shorn annually in the spring or summer months with a manual razor and blade or with special clippers. Scouring involves washing of sheep hair in tanks to remove grease, dust, and dirt from it. Grading is the breaking up of the fleece based on overall quality of the wool. The term fleece is used to refer to a type of wool that is not processed to make fibers. In sorting, the wool is categorized on the basis of length, color, texture, and the ease in which it can be dyed. The inferior quality wool is sorted from the best quality. The blur or fuzz, soft fluffy fibers are removed manually from the wool. The fibers are then dyed in various colors and then dried using rollers to squeeze out as much water as possible. Then the wool is weighed and packed into bales, which are then transported to the mills where they are processed further. After drying, the colored fibers are combed, straightened, and rolled into yarn. This is called carding. The wool fibers after carding are twisted and turned to form yarns in spinning machines. The wool is then woven and knitted into fabric either manually or by machines. Hazards of wool industry. The products of wool is associated with many health hazards to the workers who work in the farms or industries. It is noticed that the workers in the wool industry get infected by a disease called anthrax, which is caused by a bacterium Bacillus anthracis. It may also cause a fatal blood disease known as Sorter's disease in humans. Nowadays, it occurs rarely due to the preventive measures or vaccines. Our next topic is silk. Silk is obtained from silkworms. Silkworm pupa spin thread-like filaments around its body. These are removed from their bodies and processed into fabric. Silk has natural luster and is one of the most expensive fabrics. Silk is called the queen of textile. Life cycle of a silkworm. The life cycle of a silkworm begins with a female silk moth lays eggs. After about 20 days, the larvae or caterpillars start hatching from these eggs. Then they are known as silkworms or caterpillars. These silkworms feed on fresh mulberry leaves and grow in size. They secrete fine filaments from the glands on their heads. These filaments are made up of a protein which hardens to form silk fibers when exposed to air. The silkworm deposits filaments in a number of concentric layers around its body through figure of 8 movement of the head. This results in the formation of a structure called the cocoon in about 3 to 7 days. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm enters the second stage of its life called the pupa and then develops into a moth. Sericulture. Sericulture is a branch of agriculture which deals with silkworm farming for obtaining raw silk. It involves the combination of old technique and new innovations to get profit. It involves all the processes from hatching of eggs to reeling. Health hazards in sericulture. Sericulture industry is also connected with lots of chemical substances that are fatal to human life. Handling of dead worms with bare hands causes infections and illness. Workers generally need to dip their hands into the hot water and judge whether the fine threads of silk have loosened enough to be wound. This causes blisters and open wounds or injuries leading to infection. Standing almost continuously for about 12 to 16 hours a day, reeling the fine silk threads may lead to health disorders like backaches, spine, and vision-related problems. Vapors from boiling cocoons and diesel fumes from machines may lead to respiratory diseases such as asthma and bronchitis. Continuous exposure to the noise made by spinning and winding machines and looms where the fabric is woven may result in hearing disorder. During the rearing process, carbon monoxide gas is produced, which is responsible for irritations, allergies, respiratory problems, etc. Formalin used during rearing acts as a carcinogen. It also causes eye and nasal irritations. Some reasons for these health issues are ignorance and adoption of improper procedures. Some unhygienic conditions can cause diseases in silkworms like grassery and fleshery. Thank you.